Hey Abby, how you doing? So we're gonna do our first remote lesson. This will be some good times here. I can't remember exactly where we left off, but I know we'd covered some chords like G, D, E minor, and C, like that, E minor, and then C, C2. So we've done some strumming. Hope that's still working for you. What I want to work on right now is we're going to introduce finger picking. So finger picking with this hand here. So your thumb here is going to hit the bass note, and then you're going to use your index finger to hit one of the three treble strings, and then these two fingers are going to work together. So it's going to go thumb, index, the middle two, then index. So back and forth. So your index is every other one. So thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. And so you're going to place your three fingers here on the bottom three strings, like that. So we're going to form a D chord. And so our thumb is going to hit the D note, which is this open D string. So I'm going to go real slow here, just holding the D chord in this hand. We're going to see if you can see this here. So thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. So just this slow, right? Now, some people have a free hand where they're actually just kind of resting it open. So I like that. It gives me more flexibility when I'm playing. But a lot of people, I started out this way, is we use your pinky as what's called a post. And so you just kind of put your pinky there on the guitar, and just where it's comfortable, where your fingers hit the strings, just put your pinky right there. And it gives you kind of an anchor to go from. So real slow, it's thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. Remember to curve your hands. It's hard to see with the camera, but you don't want them locked in like this. You want them just nice and curved, and you're not plucking straight out like this. You're kind of plucking a little bit back like this angle. So not so much straight up and down, but just a little bit more this way. And you're gonna, so just thumb. So practice that. If you have to pause, now would be a good place to pause it. I want you to practice for a second. So pause the video. Okay, now coming back in. So we're going to go back and forth between the D chord and the A chord. So we're going to take a D chord like this. So then do 4 beats of this. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the A chord, 4. We're going to switch to an A chord, like this. We're going to change our bass note to the open A string, but these fingers stay the same. They stay in the same thing, so it'll sound like this. And back to the D chord. The A chord. Oops. Back to the D chord. So you get the idea of that. So D chord, A chord. So practice that. Practice the finger picking, and try to get it. The goal is nice and even, and to get a nice warm sound. You'll notice if you move up here, the sound is different than if you move way back by the bridge. It's kind of tingy down here. So you're looking for that, your fingers kind of rest over the hole, but your pinky to be on the wood there by the sound hole. It's got a real nice sound, just nice and basic, but it's a good starting point for when you do other finger picking stuff. So you'll get to that point there, finger picking. So now I want to teach you a couple chords to work on until the next time we get together. But we're going to work on what's called an open E chord. Okay, so we are putting our index finger on the 7th fret on the A string. You see that? We're putting our ring finger on the D string on the 9th fret, and then right below that we're going to put our pinky. And so it looks like, I'm trying to let you see with the camera, that's kind of tough. But what that is an open E chord, and I use it all the time when I'm playing worship songs. Any song in the key of E, I'm going to be oftentimes using some variation of this chord. Sounds just like this, the E major chord. This one, it's got a nice sound to it. So there's that chord there. Now there's another chord. We're going to move our index finger up, and we're going to move these two fingers up too. So, except we're going to add this middle finger to the G string in between those two. So remember, here was the E. I'm trying to let you see that. Here's the E, and these guys move up, and then we add this string on the G. So this is a B sustained chord. B sustained. And then the great thing is you take this same shape, but you move it down 2 frets. You have an A chord. So get that. I'll give you a second to get that. And you move it back up to the B. 1, 2. So again, 7th fret, 9th fret. Hopefully you'll have dots in the top of your guitar that points out where those are. And then back down to the E. So move everything down. E. Move everything down. So what do you do with this finger? I usually let it sit out like this, but for sake of the videos, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so 3 more chords in your vocabulary. How can you use them? What kind of songs? Well, Open the Eyes of My Heart, Paul Balash song, very popular. He uses this chord a lot, so it goes like kind of a steady downstroke. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. And I want to see you. So the chords on that are the E, that open E chord, the B chord, and the A chord. Okay? E, B, A. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart to the A. I want to see you. I want to see you. So yeah, as you can see, there's some chords there. So I want you to work on that. There is one chord that is going to give you a little bit of hassle. It's a C sharp minor. So the quick and dirty version of that is you take your E. There's lots of ways you can play this, but I'm going to show you this one way. So we're going to leave these fingers here the same. We've got our E chord. Remember our E chord. We're going to lift our index finger up. So lift your index finger. You're going to take your middle finger and kind of twist your hand and add it to that top string. You see that? So this is what it looks like in that angle. So it's kind of a hand stretcher, but you're going to give you that option for C sharp minor. When you come in next time, I'll show you guys how to do a better C sharp minor, but that's one way to do it. I like to go back and forth between these two. It's kind of fun. There's lots of songs that use that chord, so that's a C sharp minor. I'm going to send you the chart to your email or your mom's email of the Open the Eyes of My Heart song. So, all right, till next time.